And we are live. Welcome on your TV sets in Texas and Louisiana. We are watching on the Smart Money Culture TV network, as well as joining us on X, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and the rest. Very great morning here in the Washington, D.C. capital. A lot going on here. We have a great show lined up today. We're going to look at the markets. The markets are in a bit of a consolidation, although I do think that we are going to push. I think we'll see what the charts have to say. It could go either way, of course, not financial advice and all this stuff. But I think looking pretty primed to move. The thing is, if as these market fluctuations happen, we get new support that comes in, and I think that is pretty important. So we have a lot of news happening right now as we go. Of course, Biden's DOJ authorized deadly force. It authorized deadly force on Donald Trump. Absolutely, really astounding revelation, I think, that deadly force was authorized on the former president. I think that's to me, that's the biggest thing that's happened since John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Makes you wonder if it was an attempted assassination. I'm not saying it was. It just makes you wonder. Okay, makes you wonder. All right, I'm gonna bounce around here just a little bit. So, what happens when the markets do what they're doing right now is that this is what starts alt season. And I know the famed alt season that everybody's been waiting for. Everybody's been waiting for alt season, right? I mean, a lot of people anyway. I have friends who have been forecasting alt season for, I don't know, long time. They've been forecasting alt season. Alt season is here. Then we're going to have alt season. And the reason why everybody gets so excited about alt season is because alt season, or so-called alt season, is, this is like the alts go parabolic. And, when they go parabolic, it's almost like you can't lose. It's like I said in the last bull run, people ask me, what to buy? What do I buy? What do I buy? And I was just like, just buy. When the market's going like this, just buy something. But when Bitcoin hangs out like this for a little while, then that allows for the alts to kind of catch up. And what we're seeing now, and I've said a number of times here, that this pump to me felt hollow, right? I mean, I've said that a number of times. It's starting to not feel so hollow. It's starting to not feel that hollow. And the reason is because now the money is just really coming in. It's coming in hot. And if Bitcoin hangs out like around this level for a few days even, then the other cryptos will explode. And this is what creates the alt season. So first you get a big dump, which we had a decent pullback, and then you get a pump, and then it's there right now. We could go parabolic to 100,000 as well, or 80 or 85, which I know is some of the levels that we've been calling for. But if it's a slow pump, then the money just really, because if it goes really fast, then everybody just dumps whatever other assets they have and they go into Bitcoin to try to ride that up. If you're in something that's going down, you try to get out as fast as possible. If it's going up, you try to get in as fast as possible. And that's pretty much one of the things that you always want to do, right? So we'll see. I'm watching it right now. As we started the show, it dipped down about $1,000 or so yesterday. And if you bought that dip, you're pretty happy at the moment. It's hanging out a little bit over 70,000 right now. $70,000. Remember, when I first started in Bitcoin, we were buying them for $70. Okay, so that is a considerable amount of zeros that has been added to that. And that's a lot of X's. That's a lot of X's. So pretty interesting how it's all gone. It's been a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. It has really been a lot of fun. We have consensus. Now, let me see here. I'm muting this tab, and then I'm going, okay. Now, consensus, guys, consensus Austin is really shaping up to be an important event, okay? And I've talked about it a number of times, but I really want to kind of hit it home to everybody, because if you are looking at this asset space, if you are considering making a move in here, if you want to see the different companies that are making the move, that are in the space, they're, you can get in on a lot of these. Again, it's not financial advice, but I'm talking about any certain company at this point, but you can get in on a lot of these consensus for pennies on the dollar, right? If you are, if you buy into some of these companies, whether it's in taking equity or it's in some of their coin or however they're doing it, you got to do it, of course, legally. Everything's going to be very up on board and legal and consensus. Everybody's going to be there. You have, I'm going to go over that in just a second. You have all the regulators and everybody will be there. But if you're able to, if you put $10,000 on something, and even 20X's, I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And if you want to make a move of $50,000 or $100,000 or something like that, it is a lot. It's a lot. And that's the type of stuff that happens in these markets. Okay. And actually, the truth is that this is the type of stuff that happened in the normal financial markets for years. It's just that we weren't able to be a part of it. The JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs and all these guys got first dibs on all these IPOs and stuff that came out, and the normal people weren't able to participate. And they made those massive returns, but the normal people didn't. This is what I've talked about over the years many, many times, the monetary revolution. We're in a monetary revolution, and this is part of it. And so participating like that, and for you to be able to have a 20X gain, a 50X gain, a 5X gain, let's face it, it's wonderful. 100X gain is now enabled. It's more possible. It's more available for you. And I think that is very important. I think that is an important part of the game. I think that should happen, and I think that you would agree. I'm going to share my screen just a little bit because they keep adding different important speakers, and I think it's definitely worth looking over here. So even like I talked to, well, I'll get to that in a minute. So we have here right now, those are the passes. Remember, you use referral code Bruce to get a 15% discount. Okay, so 10 years of decentralization is they're celebrating. Okay, 10 years. What is consensus? Consensus is the longest running, most influential gathering that brings together all sides of the cryptocurrency, blockchain, and Web3 community. From hard-hitting conversations with visionary speakers to hands-on workshops aimed at solving industry challenges, developers, investors, founders, brands, policymakers, and more will walk away with the tools and insights needed to continue laying the foundation of a more decentralized future. And this decentralized future, guys, we're going off the script now, off their page, is one of the things that's so important. This is one of the most important things, and that's why we take a little bit of the power, the centralization power, as I just mentioned. All these guys getting in, being able to get in pre-IPO. Okay, that only the big guys were able to get in, and people are able to participate. And that's, to me, that's really important. Okay, that is really important. I know that is really important. It's called consensus for a reason. The event is the primary forum where the industry comes together and discuss the most pivotal matters of the day, highlights the biggest successes in debate and the most critical conversations. Consensus 2024 is your chance to be part of the most important conversation in crypto and Web3. Of course, Robert F. Kennedy is the headliner. He will be speaking there. That is new over the last week or two. Chris Dixon, he's the founder of A16Z Crypto. It's a fund. You have Kathy Wood, the CEO of ARK Investments, Mike Novogratz. I've gone through these a number of times on the show. Anthony Pompliano with Pomp Investments. I mean, these people are titans. The founder of Chainlink, Sergey Nazarov. You have Lynn Martin, the president of the New York Stock Exchange. You have the co-founder of Mika Brands, Yat Siu. You have the president of Franklin Templeton, Jenny Johnson. You have the creator of Ordinals, Ron Wyden, Democrat from Oregon, chairman Committee on Finance of the U.S. Senate. You also have Tom Emmer, the majority whip of the U.S. House of Representatives. So this is no joke, okay? If you're scared of crypto, Hester M. Pierce, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, she's the commissioner, Undersecretary of the Office of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence for the U.S. Department of Treasury. You have the commissioner of the Commodities Future Trading Commission. I could go on and on and on and on. This is big. Okay, guys, this one is big. And if you want to get out there, if you have an idea, if you want to put your money in something, if you want to get your finger on what's going on, if you want your chance to talk to these people, they're all going to be there. So get your flight, get your ticket. I'll put my banner up here. I forgot my banner. Like a one-man bandage around here lately. There we go. Consensus 2024. Now we are doing our famed gala. We're doing our it is a famous gala that we throw, and that is going to be on the 30th. It's the Washington Elite Gala. The Washington Elite Gala, we have thrown this event around the world. It is our most successful event by far. We have done conferences. We've done concerts. I mean, over the years, we've done a lot of stuff. But the Washington Elite Gala is our most successful event of all time. We've thrown it around the world. We have put together money. We've raised money for all types of wonderful things. We've taken the veterans to different places. We've taken them to Europe to play hockey, blind hockey. We've ridden the bobsled. We've worked with all types of disabled athletes, and that will continue. And that is kind of the proceeds support our disabled sporting initiatives. But the gathering is amazing. It's an amazing gathering of people. I talked to my friend last night. I won't drop any names, but we have very high level people coming. We have people that are working directly with the president, and we're very honored to have some of those people. We have high ranking people. We also have people that are working in different funds. We have different liquidity providers, exchanges. If you want direct access to these people, they will be there. Of course, you can register Luma, lu.ma/Washington Elite. The event will be at the JW Marriott. Okay, it's at the JW Marriott right there in downtown Austin. This is the official announcement of that. I haven't updated the site or anything, but if you're watching the show, you have the inside. You get the inside scoop now. It's going to be at the JW Marriott, the beautiful JW Marriott. Of course, that was the Marriott is under. They have them under contract. We had to get all that stuff approved, and so that we're very honored to do it there at the JW Marriott, and very excited about it. It's going to be an amazing event. So you can sign up for that if you want to insure a seat. We have a lot of people, as you can imagine, have signed up for this event, and they want to come, and a lot of amazing people. I went through the other morning and night. It took me hours. It took me at least 8 or 9, 10 hours. And I went through every single person that had registered up to that point and looked at their LinkedIn and looked at who they are. And of course, had to make some decisions on the amount of sponsors that we had at this point and who we were going to approve like that. You can ensure that you have a ticket there by buying one. You can see on the site lu.ma/Washington Elite, and you can buy a ticket there. And I encourage you to do that. You can also get a table. And if you do the table and you do it quickly enough, we can get your logo, your company logo on the banner, and you can participate that way. It'd be on the banner, and of course some branding on your thing as well. So the JFK, I think real quick, we're about to go over to our main man here, but I want to talk to you about this really quickly, because this almost what I would say assassination attempt. It's not an assassination attempt. I have to stop saying that because I'm going to get in trouble. But this authorization of deadly force in the Mar-a-Lago raid this should frighten everybody. This should scare the pants off of everybody. And guys, we have to start doing something about it. And I don't mean like being, crazy or anything like that, but we have to start doing something about it. So I'm very alarmed. Are you alarmed? I am very alarmed that the Biden regime and the U.S. intelligence agencies and the DOJ authorized deadly force to seize documents from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Was this an organized hit that went wrong? I think that this is bigger than the JFK assassination. I wouldn't say bigger. I'm doing multiple things. It's big. It's the biggest thing that's happened in the United States that we know about, I think, since the assassination of JFK. How in the world are you going to go in for documents and authorize deadly force against the former president of the United States? You need to be upset. You need to be mad. It's okay to be scared, because being scared will help you make the right decisions moving forward. Unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. What do you think? I think it's unbelievable. Now we're going to go back to the markets. We have the great Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon joining us. Hello, sir. Sir Matt, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Good morning.
Good. Yes, sir. Good morning and good afternoon. I wish you were coming to Austin. It really is going to be fantastic.
I would love to. I've heard so much about it. Everybody's going, so it's obviously the place to be. But unfortunately, I've got so much going on here.
Yeah, it's like the mad rush over the last week. It's like everybody's like, okay, I wasn't going to come, but I am coming now.
Everybody in Dubai is talking about it. I mean, obviously, it is big. So
yes. We have I have some of our friends from CV Labs that have registered for the gala. I know I've approved some of them, but I saw some of them coming in as well. More.
Fantastic, yeah. Oh well, I'll see if I can make a last minute journey. But
that would be fantastic. But
tickets are probably running out, are they now? I mean, it's very, very, very well attended. Well, so far in terms of the bookings, I understand.
Yes, true.
Yeah,
but it can happen.
Yeah, good. So, big news yesterday was Ethereum. So it'd be interesting to know your thoughts on Ethereum. Actually, let me just go back. I'm going to straight away probably share my screen and we'll go through a few of the charts about Ethereum. It's actually really interesting. So Polymarkets, they're one of the biggest prediction firms, if not the biggest prediction firm out there. Actually, I will share, when I share my screen,
okay,
I'll just jump onto Polymarkets because it's quite interesting just to look at some of the things that would interest you and your. So I guess you can see my screen now.
Yep, the computer seems to be loading faster today. Hopefully, maybe cleared some things up.
So that's quite interesting. There's loads of things they look at with these prediction markets, and you can see here they've got presidential election winner. So they've got Donald Trump 55%, Joe Biden. So this is just people voting, general public, everyone voting. So it's quite interesting. Ethereum ETF approval by 31st of March, and they've got 65% chance. So it's not necessarily scientific, but it's just what people are thinking. Maybe also a little bit of what people want. Will Ethereum hit 4K by Friday? That I understand was 59% yesterday. It's now dropped to 43%, and that's probably because we've got a bit of a pullback on the Ethereum price. But this Ethereum is a big story, isn't it?
It's a big story. It's like This is what I talk about all the time too. This I hate to say market manipulation, but it's market manipulation. They're like, it's not going to get approved. It's not getting approved. Nope. Oh, never mind. We're going to do it this week.
Yeah, I mean, I would find it difficult to believe that they could make such a 180-degree U-turn on policy like this. They're basically saying, one moment there's no chance it's not going to happen, and they're filing these Wells notices and so on, left, right, and centre, and then next minute it looks like it's going to be approved. Yes. I don't believe that will happen, and I've just been thinking and doing a bit of research behind some of the issues there. So, if they had an Ethereum ETF, well, if they were to have basically staking within the ETF, then that would mean you get real centralization. So, for example, BlackRock, who would be holding a massive amount of Ethereum potentially, if they had voting rights there, then that would really centralize Ethereum. So I think Fidelity's application have said no voting rights. Now, if you have no voting rights and no staking effectively, then the issue would then be that you're actually much better off holding your Ethereum directly, because you're getting, an annual return on holding your Ethereum. You can stake it, you can get I think it's at least a 4% return. I mean, that's a reasonable return in today's markets, today's climate. So
I mean, unless you're like, unless you're really, on here, and that's not realistic for most people. Of course, a 4% return is a great return.
Yeah, I mean, on the second biggest asset by market cap. I mean, I think it's getting towards 500 billion market cap now, isn't it? So almost $500 billion market cap, the second biggest. I mean, it's obviously still some way behind Bitcoin. But if they were to approve this, again, the implications are that a lot of other tokens would potentially be approved as well. There's really a lot of implications here to be thought through. And this staking thing is just one of them, and about centralization. And is it, people would be at a massive disadvantage by going into the Ethereum via the ETF, because they wouldn't get the staking returns. There's a lot of people I know. I've met loads of people in Dubai who actually hold Ethereum because of the staking, and they can get, the way they do it, they get some really good returns. I don't think it's just the 4%. I think you can potentially get a lot more than that. So that is got to be thought about. I was looking at the Ethereum chart, and this is the long-term chart. And I think, and again, I looked at some Fibonacci extensions, etc., to check this looks correct. But this is really from the early days of Bitcoin. We had a wave 1 up, then a wave 2 down, and a massive wave 3 up, then a wave 4 down, which didn't overlap wave 1, so it's perfect. Then a wave 5 up, and we can see in that wave 5, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It all fits beautifully for 5 waves up. Now, as we may be beginning to recognize by now, 5 waves up can either be an impulsive wave, as in a bigger wave 1, and then we get a big wave 2 down, a massive wave 3 to the upside. So it can either be that, or it can be 5 waves can actually be an A wave, and then the ABC down can be a B wave, and then we push up in a C wave. Or we can have a large wave 1 up, and then this can be the ABC down can be the A wave, ABC up for a B wave, then a C wave down. That's actually my favorite potential interpretation at the moment, but it still means we've potentially got quite a lot higher to go with Ethereum. Previous high of 4,866. I think that's well within reach, the way things pumped yesterday. So we'll have a look on the shorter term chart to look at that. But just very quickly, I just think it's really interesting. We talk about Fibonacci all the time and how the markets are so tied to these Fibonacci levels. So what I'll do here, I'm using the Fibonacci measuring tool. I'm measuring from this wave A here to the very top, the all-time high. That's 100%. So we can see there 1, and we can see the different Fibonacci measurements. That's 100% movement. All we do is just move that. We can move it anywhere. It stays the same. We transpose it to wave 2. And it gave us pretty well, within about $1, something like that, the precise bottom there of 855-ish, somewhere around there on Ethereum. So many, many months in advance. We got an A wave down, we got 3 waves up for a B wave, and then we got a 5 wave move down for a C wave. And we got that we could predict it many months in advance, the precise level it went to, the 100%. That is the most common relationship of C wave to A wave. So we've had 5 waves up, we've had an ABC down with the perfect Fibonacci relationship for an ABC, and then we've been moving up since then. Now, I think that we've got some kind of 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and then we're going to get 5 waves to finish. That would be the move up here as a larger B wave would potentially be a flat correction, 3-3-5 formation, as in from the bottom here, 1, 2, 3, giving us the A wave, that's 3. Get 1, 2, 3, giving us the B wave, that's 3. And then we get a larger 5 waves. And interestingly, yet again, we measure the magnitude of wave 1 from B to wave 1 here. We just transpose it onto the wave 2 here, and it gave us 1.618, the golden ratio yet again. It's amazing. Gave us the exact top of wave 3. Then we got a very clear ABC pullback in wave 4. And then we started moving impulsively higher in wave 5. So Ethereum has had these Fibonacci relationships all the way through. And even at the all-time high that we had 4,866, we had very nice bearish, regular bearish divergence where we saw higher highs on the price peaks and lower highs on the RSI peaks. That was telling you that all this movement up was not supported by real volume. It was basically smaller retailers, whatever, not the big whales, for example, pushing this price up. This was really the smaller traders just pushing up. But the retailers got out here. Sorry, not the retailers, the big institutions, or if not institutions, because it's early days, maybe the big whales, they actually sold off from the top of this wave 3. They took all of their profits, which pushed the price down here to wave 4. That's where they took the profits. And it was the smaller traders. Once they'd taken their profits, that then eliminated the downside for Ethereum. And the upside was then created. This final 5-wave upside in 5 waves here to give us the 5th wave was created by the smaller traders who tend to buy in at the latter part of a move, normally in the 5th wave. And that's where we saw divergence taking place, regular bearish divergence, signaling a real top in the market. And once we had that signal, all we needed to do was focus on a shorter time frame, look at the candlesticks, find that we had a negative candle from the top of that divergence, and then we could sell it. And by selling it, we got a perfect ABC down, predicting from 4,800 all the way down to 800 and something. So $4,000 fall on Ethereum, a full $4,000 fall that was predicted using these TA tools. And then moving up now, as I say, we've got 3 up, 3 down, and we're working on a 5-wave up, and the 5 waves is perfect. With the 1, 2, wave 3 is 1.618 times wave 1. Wave 4 did not overlap wave 1, so it abided by the rules beautifully. It's quite a deep pullback for wave 4. And again, that's perfect. We've got a rule of alternation where wave 2 and wave 4, they're both corrective waves, but they tend to be a different format. So wave 2 here was a really short and sharp correction for wave 2. Here we got a long, much more drawn out correction for wave 4. So it's different in actual type of wave. If we looked internally, we'd see, whether it's a zigzag and a flat correction, difference between them. But certainly the duration and the magnitude of the falls were different. And now we're moving up in this 5th wave, which we look as though we've had a wave 1 up, 2 down. We may be still working on the wave 3 up. So let's just jump quickly to a shorter time frame. And I think it's great that we're focusing in here. So from that wave 3, you can see here we had a really nice, basically trend line drawn from the peaks from the top of wave 3, which was actually here now, to as we continued down with the price. This, as we were saying all the time on the show, was corrected because it's all overlapping. For example, this move up here overlapped this move down here. So this was clearly corrective move down. And all we had was this overhead resistance, which was basically creating a barrier to price moving up. But then we got the news out that the Ethereum was much more likely, and it jumped from 11% chance in the morning on poly markets, for example, 11% chance of an Ethereum ETF being authorized this year, to now it's somewhere above 70%. I think it's about 75, 76% chance of an Ethereum ETF being approved this year. So that's what really blasted Ethereum through. And that's what Bruce was talking about, really, I suppose, with altcoins, because Bitcoin, it's actually got less dominance than it used to have across the market. It used to be, a large part of the market of the tokens were based on the Ethereum protocol, mainly ERC20, but the other Ethereum protocols as well. So most of the market was based on that, and it's been falling, been falling over the years. Let's just see if I've got it here or here. Okay, I haven't got it there, but basically it fell from, a very, very high percentage, somewhere around 70%, down to now it's only about 17% of crypto tokens are based on the Ethereum protocol. And that's because of the newcomers to the market, like Solana, which is a relative newcomer. And a lot of projects are now launching on Solana, they're launching on Algo, they're launching on so many of these other blockchains. So Ethereum has its work cut out. So that's, but even so, it was massive news yesterday when the SEC softened their stance. But whether it will be approved, I don't know. As I say, it looks as though there's potentially more upside to go, potentially. But nobody can be certain. Now is probably not a great time to jump in.
Yeah, sorry, it could move either way, but it does appear, as if there's no external forces or anything, it does still appear like there's fuel in this movement.
It appears like there's fuel because this is a corrective move down, and I would expect the impulsive move to actually exceed the previous high here of 4,000 and challenge the previous high, at least challenge it at 4,877. So just moving on very quickly, because that sort of brings us to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has done pretty well that at the moment. If we just spread that out a little bit, it's a very similar pattern in some ways, but the all-time high for Bitcoin was here. Well, actually, it's a touch further back, isn't it? Yeah, there, 73,800-ish, somewhere around there. That's the all-time high, and we're now moving up potentially. Now, it's not the best time to take your risk on Bitcoin. Yes, it could push through, like Ethereum. We're kind of in no man's land right now because we've approached the previous all-time high. Now, that is, and I mentioned this yesterday, that is going to be substantial resistance to break through it. Now, if it does break through, then the sky's the limit, and I think next stop will probably be 84,000. That's quite possible with all the euphoria around ETFs, and especially if we do get Ethereum ETF approval, then I think the markets will jump for joy, and we'll get some more big green candles to the upside. So, but right now is probably not the time to enter. We were indicating about this correction down with it very much a WXY or an ABCDE correction to the downside. That was the time to jump in. So the risk then was clearly, the risk was actually to the upside. In other words, the risk was the market was going to push to the upside. And then again, we got another opportunity because we had 5 clear waves to the upside here. We got an ABC pullback. That was once again an opportunity to enter the market. But right now we're in the midst. In fact, we've had a really good solid pump in the markets. We could push higher, but we could actually correct lower. So now is probably not the best time to enter the market. And I think that goes pretty much across the board. Even when we look at an amazing one like Solana, again, we could potentially, this could be another ABC correction to the upsides. We could have basically a correction down, a correction higher, and then potentially further down, but also potentially higher. So I'm just saying, from a risk reward perspective, now is not the best time. But if you keep watching the show, we do talk about when there's real clear opportunities and when perhaps you should be taking risk in the market. So I know you'll have more stuff to show, and I've probably only got 3 minutes, so I'll just jump very quickly through the others. Gold, this looks corrective, very clearly corrective. This is a flag, basically, some kind of wedge pattern or flag, some corrective move, in other words. So we basically had a correction down. This does look as though we're going to get another push to the upside relatively soon. So we've got inflation figures coming through, not that soon. I think it's within the next 10 days, something like that. We'll have PCE figures, or the next inflation ones we get through. So we'll be needing to watch PCE figures really closely. That's going to give us the next direction on where inflation's going. we'll get an idea of what the Fed's thinking. I think actually, if I'm not wrong, tonight I think we're going to get some commentary from the Fed chair. I think maybe it's previous minutes or something, but get an idea of what he's thinking in the market. But we need to look forward to PCE because they're going to be data dependent. The Fed, the FOMC will be data dependent. We also need to be data dependent. But I think that this is clearly corrective on gold, and we're going to get more upside. So we're having a bit of a slight pullback on gold today, but nothing to talk about. It's just corrective, tiny movement, sideways and down. Oil is absolutely flat. Again, that reflects that nothing much is happening in the world geopolitically. There's no major news coming out from the economy. So oil is staying relatively flat. And again, 0.03% to the upside, so nothing. Again, DXY is flat. So we're kind of back to that summer malaise again, where all the news has come out. We had a massive blast of news yesterday on Ethereum, and it jumped something like 20% in one day. So that will have made a lot of people really happy. But now people are just sinking back, and we're getting a little bit of profit taking. I mean, Ethereum down 1.3%, just a touch of profit taking, but in general, a fairly flat market across the board. And then S&P, I think the futures are showing that we get a little bit of a pullback. Again, this is probably some kind of corrective move. We may soon, I mean, actually, RSI is showing it's probably pointing to the downside. We've got plenty of room for downside, so maybe we'll get a bit more of a correction. And we did have, as I said, we had some sort of, oh no, it was eliminated, that was it. So the divergence we had was completely eliminated. So actually, this could be corrective, and we can at any time push to the upside because this is pointing in the same direction, an upward slope, pointing in exactly the same direction as the RSI, also being an upward slope. So if we just correct those there, we're on an upward slope on both of them. So there's no divergence. So that means the way is open potentially to go higher now on the SPX. So I think in general, my gut feeling would be we're going to go higher with most tokens, a bit higher, but I think we'll probably at least challenge, maybe Bitcoin, challenge the previous all-time high. That is the barrier to break. That's what we need to watch. Let's watch out for the economic news. So that's a wrap for today. Hope it's been helpful. And thanks again, Bruce, for the opportunity to share my thoughts.
Amazing. The great Matt Dixon. Absolutely love it. It's always a pleasure to have you on here and have the show. And I do hope you can make it to Austin. Take a look and see if you can pull it off, because that would be absolutely wonderful. But either way, the market insights are unparalleled. We have our viewership is growing. I know on TV quite a bit. They're getting a lot of feedback, as well as we see it every day on the on our channel. So thank you so much.
Fantastic. It's been a pleasure. Thanks everybody, and bye for now.
Awesome. So I at Paris Blockchain Week, we were able to do quite a number of different interviews and meet quite a number of different people. One of the people that I interviewed, one of my favorite guys, really of all time, a guy named Dirk Luth. Dirk and I met in I don't know where even. We met, I don't know, a long time ago. Maybe it was some island somewhere. I'm not sure. Anyway, really great guy. He is the founder of Upland. Upland is very exciting metaverse. One of my friends actually bought one of his properties way back when, almost a decade ago. I mean, probably six or 7 years ago when he was first starting. And he bought it for like $200 and he made $70,000 on it. I think he sold it for like 72 grand or something like that. So unbelievable things that can go on. But this space is absolutely exploding. Dirk Luth is a legend. He's a legend. And I'm excited to have him on the show. This is our interview from Paris. Dirk Luth with Upland. Check it out. And we are back here at Paris Blockchain Week. All the big guys. I told you guys all the big guys are coming. And who comes walking by the media booth? Dirk Luth, the infamous Dirk Luth. The guy, I tell you what, we've known each other for years now. He's been working on Upland for years. You guys are growing a lot. Just made it through another crypto winter. Still feels a little funny, even though Bitcoin's so high. It still feels funny, I think. I'd love to get your take on it.
So tell me a little bit about how it's going and what brought you here to Paris. Paris Blockchain Week.
It's so funny, right? I remember very well, in 2018, we did the first interview, just got started. We actually closed beta, was not completely available, and fast forward, today we're proud to say, we're by far the largest mobile Web3 metaverse, which is out there. We're based on the real world. Maybe many people know that, right? We open up cities like San Francisco, New York. Paris is not yet open, but Berlin, Tokyo, London, and many other cities. And we have partners like the NFL Player Association. We are partners of FIFA. So if you want to go and get the goal, as an FT for Messi in the last World Cup, I don't know if you've seen it. It was a great final. You can get it in Upland. And today, you can do so many things in Upland. You can start a meta venture. You can, operate, a business there. Right? You can be a digital entrepreneur. Right? You can sell digital goods to others. You can start do car racing. You can go to cafes and socialize with others. So I can go on and on and on. And, we're just getting started. But eventually, Upland is becoming a platform. What we say with that is, the idea is that anyone can develop, a third-party application, can connect it to Upland, and then we build really out this open metaverse.
Well, it's really cool. And, I always tell people, it takes time, guys. It takes time. Bill Gates worked on Microsoft for 10 years. I don't know, you're my age or around my age. Remember Amazon? Remember this guy going on TV? Everybody's losing money for like a decade. And finally, Amazon now, my gosh, I don't know. I don't think my wife could survive.
Oh, yeah. No. And especially when you're in gaming, right? If you're GTA, Grand Theft Auto fan, right? You've been waiting for years to get to the next release, right? And it's the same, right? I know when you Roblox, right? Where 80 million kids are playing everyday Roblox, right? So and they started early 2000 sometimes, right? And they only had the big moments then, like 10, 12 years later. So it's just it's complicated.
It's complicated. It takes time. It takes time. Market penetration. It takes time to put the stuff together. You mentioned Roblox. That's something that has emerged a lot. Both my daughters, they want Roblox on their phone. I've consistently said no, but I'm getting a lot of pressure. They want Roblox on their phone.
Yeah, that's why it's not just a game, where it's also very important. They socialize there, right?
They socialize.
They meet their friends. They talk about teachers. They talk about their friends. That's it's completely different. Right?
You're making me feel bad now.
Yeah, very sure. Right?
He said. So Upland, let's talk about your growth. I know it's been it's been a lot, right? And you're like a fixture at these events. Obviously, they love you on stage. You're a very personal guy. You're not sure if you're in the Back to the Future or if it's really dark. You have to sometimes do a double take. But talk about the growth of how things have happened over the last 5-6 years, I guess.
To throw out some numbers, right? We minted over 6 million NFTs with more than 3 million, accounts now registered in Upland. And, on a daily basis, with always 30, 50,000 people playing it, right? So
wow.
And these are humans. It's also important.
Yeah.
Right? Because in Upland, we don't have farming and so on. So this really makes sense to have a bot there, right?
Okay.
So that's what we have. Yeah. And then, because of all the traction we've had, we were able to acquire those larger brands, right? That I mentioned before, like FIFA and so on. So that's really good. But what we believe is, the future is people are going to, first of all, I think those 3D worlds are going to have more their moments. Just think about AI. I always call that the magic triangle, right? I say you have AI, generative AI, which democratizes content creation, right? We already use it in the back end a little bit, but in the future, people will do that also in the front end. That means, you can go and say, hey, draw me a dog on the surfboard, right? In the late, in the other days, you needed, Photoshop and other skills in order to do that. Now everyone can do that. So that's the AI part. Then you take blockchain. Now you have created an asset. Now blockchain gives you the true ownership, right? You are able to sell it. And now the third thing is now the metaverse. You need to be able to play with it. You need to be able to show it or whatever you want to do with it, right? And now you actually have the metaverse to do that. And that's what I call the magic triangle.
The magic triangle. So really exciting. So 6 million users, you have 40,000 people a day coming on the platform. So, what does that look like if for the average viewer there, they're sitting on their couch in Texas or around the world, because we stream around the world as well. how do they get involved? What does it look like for them?
Yeah, actually, we have a quite good community in Texas also. We open up Dallas, for instance, right? So, and it depends, right? The metaverse is very much like you can do many things, whatever you desire to do, right? So some people love just this. We have a property trading game. You buy a property, you complete the collection, you trade with others. So people are enjoying that. Others are enjoying car racing, right? They're firing up their own speedways, right? And then people race through virtual Dallas, for instance, right, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Then you have other groups who are just the socializer, right? Who come in there, want to meet with others, hang out, do stuff together. So it's it depends, right? It's not just one thing you do in the metaverse.
Well, really cool. And then now, as far as like events like this, I mean, that was kind of a thing for a while, right? We're going to put your event in the metaverse, this and that. Has that kind of maybe changed a bit, or do you still have people asking you? I know I was talking randomly to somebody. I mean, nobody I talked to is that random, but I was talking to somebody here, and they told me our office is in Upland. And I said, "Oh, really?" He says, "Yeah, our office is in Upland. You know Upland, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know Upland." Yeah, they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, the llama. Yeah. My daughters love the logo." So, I mean, are conferences like this now still? Is that still a thing?
To be honest, I'm a big believer. And as I said, Upland is based on the real world. I'm based in this artificial world called phygital, right? It's a combination of physical and digital, right? And I think also we still need to have physical events where people can go. However, it complements maybe something. Maybe you go to a booth like this or to other booths, maybe you get something, and then you maybe go back into the metaverse and do something else, right? It combines it good together, right? I like it. Maybe I also myself an old school. I like to meet with people. I like to talk to them.
Yeah.
But it's very often I just don't have the opportunity. I mean, not everyone can come to Paris, right? So I think probably makes sense for some people to say, hey, I just go into virtual, complementary side events and then do something. We're not doing side events now for Paris Blockchain Week, but I clearly see that in the future that we're probably going to offer something. Or maybe it's not us. Maybe it's the Blockchain Week organizers themselves or someone else going to organize these events.
So let's talk about my buddy there from last night, who he's gonna watch this and be like, "Bruce, it was me." I can't remember who it is at the moment. But what does it look like for a company that has their office in Upland?
So I don't know.
Are you giving out zip codes or what? Are you giving out zip codes?
Well, we have an address.
Do we have a passport? I need a passport.
Well, you get in Upland. First you have a visa, right? And then you have to do certain things in order to become an Uplander, right? That says a certain thing. So we have lots of parallel worlds, right? Yeah, and then you have an office. The office is, because we're based on the real world, maybe it's in whatever Fifth Avenue in New York.
Okay.
If you have a fancy office, it's Fifth Avenue. If you have a cheap office, maybe somewhere in Fresno, right? So it depends what you're looking for, right? And then whatever you put into that space, right? It's up to you.
And so is that real estate already bought, right? Or can you just kind of make it? I mean, Fifth Avenue, is that like?
Oh, yeah, New York has been sold out for a long time, so we have to make an offer. If you want to live,
you have to make a deal.
You have to make a deal with someone who owns a property there. Right?
And then what? You buy like the NFT of the property?
Yeah. Everything's an NFT. Every property is an NFT, right? You just zoom in, you find your property, and you make an offer. It's like, hey, whatever you propose, and maybe the offer gets accepted or not. New York's going to be always difficult because people are thinking this is going to go up in price. So that's going to be difficult. Right?
Speculators are always speculating. That's the way it works. So you did mention, I think, right as we sat down, I saw him walk by. Hey, get over here. That you have also as well a token that's coming out. Is that right?
Yeah. So Upland, because we are US based, we're very careful. Everything
you have
compliant.
to. The
way people extract monetary values right now, you can sell your NFTs for US dollars to others, right? So that's how you do it today. We have an in-app currency which is called Apex. So you with a fixed exchange rate, $1, 1,000 Apex, and then you buy NFTs or land or whatever in Upland. So then we have another currency which is called Sparklet, and Sparklet is a token you need when you want to build something and want to manufacture items. When you build a house, you need to stake Sparklet. The more you build, the faster you build. And we're currently working on making that token tradable outside of Upland, right? And this is very interesting. We just launched a social media platform for that, or let's say a tool, right? Where people can connect their Twitter and so on. And it's so because what we want is actually that people come into the metaverse, they engage there, do stuff there, they can earn eventually token and then make then use it outside of Upland as well.
Oh, so that's pretty interesting.
We don't have a date yet, right? To be honest, right? We're working on it, and please stay tuned.
So let me just take it out of the box. We have about a minute left, so just keep that in mind. So someone like myself with a decent following could tweet out or post out, "Hey, join Upland, sign up here," and then I would earn for that.
Tokens. You would first own points, right? And the points you can later exchange in Upland for the token.
For my Park Avenue
if you have a good following, actually, you will earn a lot of points.
Yeah.
This gets rewarded when you have an old account, like an old Twitter account, an X account, right? And you have a lot of followers. Then you actually follow. You finalize certain missions, right? Then you have a good chance to get a lot of tokens.
A lot of points and a lot of tokens.
You get the points.
And our office on Park Avenue.
Yeah.
Dirk, thanks for coming on, man.
Okay, see you.
It's upland.me. That's my dot. Upland.me, and it's upland_me on X.
Upland.me.
Oh, no, but on X.
On X is upland.me in one word.
Upland.me, one word. Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
See you soon.
Thank you, guys.
The great Dirk Lewis. I know. I absolutely love this guy. You can probably tell. So I think I have a partner program with him that he offered me. I was just looking. I had to register, so I'm going to put that up when we syndicate this interview. I'll have that information there. But we'll in general we'll make it impact money. How about that? Whatever the code or whatever it'll be impact money. So if you want to participate in that or get a discount on the real estate there or the token or however that works, it's going to be, the code will be impact money. Now, Dirk, I know he has come to our galas before. I need to extend him a VIP invite to our gala in Austin, and I know he's great. And what he's done, guys, is absolutely amazing. It takes a while. It takes a while to build these things. It really does. And when you have world markets like we have right now, it's pretty tricky. It is pretty tricky. It can be quite tricky to make it through these markets. If you have your money in the wrong asset, you can be absolutely wiped out, or it can go great, or it's just a hard period. I mean, a lot of times when the markets are having a hard time, that they're just having a hard time. So we have it has been an absolute pleasure. We will be broadcasting from Consensus next week. So again, if you guys want to come to Consensus, let me put the banner up there again. It is referral code Bruce. All right, it's Consensus 2024.coindesk.com. Use referral code Bruce for a 15% discount. We're going to be doing a lot of interviews from there. It's going to be a very busy week for us. As I mentioned yesterday, we are doing a lot. The workload right now is a lot around here, but we are going to come through there a lot better off with some major announcements as well of things moving forward that you're going to really like. You're going to really like what we have going on. I have just one or two more minutes here, and I want to talk about what we have going on here in the United States and how and the world, I guess, and how we need everybody to be involved. We need everybody to be involved, guys. Listen, we are all where we're supposed to be at the exact right time. And so where you are right now is where you are supposed to be. Doesn't mean that you don't work to get to a different place that's better, but where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. And you are supposed to try to make things better. And in the United States, we have a situation where it is out of control. And it is time to stand up, and it is time to do something about it. The way that I have done something about it over the years is with the monetary revolution. This is a peaceful revolution. There has not been a shot fired. It took 5 years for the governments of the world to even figure out what was going on. The monetary revolution is a peaceful way that we can take the power back from these people. It's not financial advice. Get into gold. Get into silver. Get into crypto. Get into the things that they cannot dilute you. I had a good conversation with the guy yesterday, and I said, look, the dollar is not just a debt instrument. We're all used to hearing that, right? Go to atcostmetals.com. Use your referral link clubs to join. Buy gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. The U.S. dollar is not just a debt instrument. It's also a tax instrument. Because as long as you're holding U.S. dollars, the central bank has the ability in the government, but through the central bank has the ability to tax you indefinitely. As long as you're holding U.S. dollars, they can tax that dollar as much as they want through dilution. Tax you on the front end, and then they tax you on the back end too through dilution. The other thing that I talked about with this gentleman yesterday, and I won't go on about it too much, of course, we're at the end of the show, but is that he said, oh, yeah, we spent double the amount of money that we brought in. I was telling my son, and I said, no, it's worse than that. Go to the U.S. Treasury. Do it yourself. Do your own research. Go to the U.S. Treasury website and see how much money we spent last year. And you will see $6 trillion. $6 trillion. And then look up how much money are we collecting in, how much money is the government collecting in income tax this year for 2023. You'll see. I think it's 1.6, but let's call it 1.5 to keep it round. 1.5 trillion. So that means, okay, double is 3 trillion. Triple is, wow, 4.5 trillion. And what? 4x. So that's 6 trillion. So we didn't spend double the amount of money that was brought in. We spent 4 times. Right? One, double, triple. We spent 4 times. We spent 4 times. Okay. And that's why your inflation is through the roof. And it would, if they had to come to your door and knock at your door in order to get the money from you, you would say no. But because you hold those US dollars, they are able to tap, and take your value away anytime they want by diluting the money supply. And the faster that you figure that out and start telling your mom and your dad and your sister and your brother, the faster we can get out from under the rule of the central bank, the Federal Reserve, that has been ruling this country since 1913. And that's just a fact. That is a fact. If you control the purse, you control the entity. If you control the purse, you control the company. If you control the purse, you control the country. Federal Reserve controls this country. The central banking cartel controls this country. It must end. It must end. It will end. One day, the central bank's stranglehold that it has on this country will end. It'll end either by the country dissolving, or it'll end by us kicking them out. And it doesn't mean they all have to leave or something, but get off that system. We get off that system. The easy way to do it, the easy way is to stop to move your assets into different things so that when they tax you, they can only tax you a little bit. They can only tax you on the US dollars that you're holding. And when they do that, that's why you see the markets go up, up, up. That's why the markets always go up, pretty much, even if they chug along this way, that way, the other, right? They always go up. Well, that's why. And dollar value always goes down. So I know a lot of you guys are scared of crypto. If you're scared of crypto, go to atcostmetals.com, use the referral links club, sign up, call me too. We can talk about it. You can get gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. Now, if you want crypto, you get some crypto. Go to @costbitcoin.club and you can go there. Actually, I'm setting up another relationship with an exchange. But you can go to Coinbase too. Sign up there and get yourself some crypto. Guys, we've done it again. I love you guys. It's always an absolute pleasure to come on your TVs there in Texas and Louisiana and streaming around the world. We'll be back on your TV in about 5 hours, and we'll be back here as well. Cheers.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.